First of all, I want to welcome our guest, but he's anonymous because he's an expert in the flock. What would you say? The flock disposal, flock, whatever.
The flock patriot.
Yes,
movement.
this is a flock patriot. We're going to conceal his identity and, of course, voice. And
that's why I brought my sunglasses.
So tell us about how you got into becoming a vigilante.
So, I just wanted, as far as I'm concerned, like Big Brother can kiss my you-know-what. And I saw these things popping up everywhere. Like, wait a minute, are these shot spotters? No, these are recording my every movement. I think they're recording my thoughts, and I can't have that. So I went and bought a Sawzall. I figured at first maybe I'll just cut them down nice and smooth. Finally, I just went and bought an F-250 with a brush guard and started mowing them down.
That's the way to do it. No plates.
Hey, look, I paid for them. I'm taking them down.
That's right. We're bullshitting you, obviously.
Be aggressive.
He brought it up. He was like, he came out and he goes, dude, I thought about wearing like a mask. And I said, well, hell, I'll blur your face. He was, of course, joking. He has not been cutting flock cameras down. But we think about it.
Hypothetically, allegedly, the whole nine.
Well, I may actually be on the other side of that a little bit.
Okay.
I actually don't have a problem with them.
I'm all ears.
Let's see. Let's hear it.
Also,
I have a problem with all surveillance.
And I don't disagree. I think to me, it seems like a little propaganda thing going on.
Before we go too far, though, we got to introduce Tim again.
Oh, my God. That's
This
right.
is Tim's second time being on the show.
Yeah. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you.
We call him Tiny.
Yes.
And his first time on here was kind of deep, kind of heavy subject. So we wanted to bring Tim back for a regular Joe hang with the boys, and it came about fortuitously because
Quit using these fancy ass words.
it's my calendar word of the day.
Okay.
So he hits me up right after watching our flock camera, which, by the way, you guys have really shown out on that one. Lots of opinions on the flock camera.
I haven't heard one of them.
And you know what? Everybody's on your side.
Really? Okay,
yeah,
thanks,
this is
guys.
a good one. So
Maybe not.
messages
Tim may have
me.
an opposing view.
Well, he messages me and he goes, bro, if there was ever an episode I wish I was back for. Yep. And I just jumped right back on it and said, what you doing Monday? And here we are.
Well, maybe we'll have like weekly flock updates, get people's opinions.
Yeah, we'll call it What the Flock.
Yeah, and I just got to say, I like that. I'm glad you're on because I'm exhausted. I've been talking all day long, and I'm thinking, I'm so glad somebody else is here to carry the show. I'm going to sit back and just be quiet and kind of listen.
You heard him say that, right? Let's see if that actually happens.
If you ever need anybody to talk nonstop, just call me first. I got you.
Okay.
So I actually heard there's a podcast I listened to. It started off as an ex-cop and an ex-Delta Force guy. It's called the Anti-Hero Podcast.
Oh, yeah,
it's pretty cool.
yeah.
They're the ones that bust that ratted out Tim Kennedy and a bunch of the guys, whatever. Well, it's changed a little bit now, and now it's two ex-cops. And I didn't really think much about the flock stuff, like whatever. License plate readers have been around forever. And flock is like Xerox. It's a brand. It's just like anything else. As this guy, his name's Mike on there. Copville is his Instagram handle. The guy has a hilarious page if you like cop memes, videos, whatever. Anyway, he had a theory that Axon, the taser company, the body cam company, if you go look, their CEO is the highest paid. Well, first off, I am not having suicidal thoughts. I do not want to hurt myself. I love my life. I'm not trying to hurt myself in any way, shape, or form. If I disappear, it was not my doing.
Okay.
So Axon's, their CEO is, he's, I think of the Fortune 500, he's the highest paid out of all of them.
I just want to say, none of them are going to see this podcast. I think you're safe.
We have some government
Okay.
affiliations.
Look, man, if a flock camera can tell what I'm thinking, they've got some sort of algorithm that when I mention Axon, they're going to find me, and I don't.
Honestly, we're screwed on just our text messages and memes alone, so we're fine.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Well, so his theory is this is an Axon propaganda thing. Because, Flock is a brand. It's Xerox. Axon, from what he is saying, and it seems like he's got some pretty good experience with it. His last little bit in law enforcement, he worked in one of these real-time crime centers. So they're looking at all the cameras they have across the city. They're looking at all of the LPRs and all of that stuff and trying to predict and find whatever. The Flock cameras, all the stuff, the Bluetooth, from what he says, I have no experience with them, so let me say that first. is like for maintenance and upkeep and whatever only, so you don't have to climb up a pole and do whatever. Allegedly, that's what he says. But they can't take video. Now, can you fire off 75 rapid fire pictures?
Well, they're doing like 15 frames a second.
Yeah, so
typical's 30 in most stuff. So with 15 frames, you can tell a lot, which is simply nothing more than 15 photos a second, which is quite a few.
That's quite a bit. Yeah.
His argument was not in defense of Flock. It was to say, Brother Axon's been doing this for 20 years.
We should shut them down. Then.
And what they do is, so Axon, any body camera, any in-car video, all of that stuff tied in together, all of the AI that runs with it, they are videotaping it, and they have all sorts. I'm sure you're familiar with all the stuff you can lay into videos and pull data and whatever.
Yep,
and they have, and then you go a little bit deeper. They have taser drones now. That like, hey, you know what? This guy's doing something wrong. Why don't we just fly a little drone over and won't we zap him because we don't want to get anybody close to him? Which on surface level is pretty cool. But now, so if all the feelings of Flock and all of this stuff, it's like, well, wait a minute. These guys have been doing this forever. And now they have taser drones.
Good. I'm glad you brought it to our attention because I want to go after them too. Here's my problem. When I seen this shit out in the middle of the country, I had the problem. Like literally, there's no place you can go now with privacy. And not knowing what they're doing with it, and you give a small group of people a tremendous amount of power, it is dangerous.
So, and there's... Here recently, I think in the last week or two, we had a local cop that got in a little bit of trouble, and they investigated him, they punished him, and I've met him. I don't know him well, but whatever he's done, like he deserves to pay whatever price for it, and just like anybody else that commits a crime. NCIC has been around forever, and there were rumors that when I was going through that they were like, I mean, you have to go through, man, I think for basic usage, I want to say it was like an 8-hour class, and most of that class is, if you investigate this, or if you use this for anything other than official purposes, you are done. You are through. Like, it is not going to be a nice day for you. And there are rumors, I don't know names of it, but I know that it happened of like, hey, this guy drove by a gas station and saw this chick over there pumping gas and thought, hey, I'm going to find where she's at. They audit that fairly regularly, and within a couple of days, that guy was fired. So,
I can attest to that. That was a thing.
One example, but I've been seeing too many examples of literally innocent people that are fighting for their life because some camera across the country mistakenly identified them, and now they're having to literally go around to like neighbors' door ring cameras to prove, no, look, I wasn't there. But the average person can't fight the government.
Sure.
And so people are being guilty before they even get a trial. So I don't like any of the I like our Fourth Amendment.
Yeah.
Right.
The certainty that they give it is very scary. You're like, it's 90%. This is you. And I'm like, well, I got a whole 10% there that says I'm innocent. And like you said, it's now you're proving your innocence. You're not assumed, presumed innocent until proven guilty. It's the other way around.
Sure.
I'm just super.
Well, a picture tells 1,000 words, but it also tells you like a tiny little snippet in time with absolutely no context whatsoever.
Exactly.
And so I think when years ago, like, hey, officers need body cam footage. They need these because we need to see.
I like them.
I love them because I think it has proven that everything that people thought was happening wasn't. And I can tell you a couple of times, if you wear a badge in this town or anywhere for a little bit, you're going to get complaints called. It doesn't matter what you do. I had multiple complaints. I mean, it was just directing traffic, and somebody didn't like the way I looked at them or whatever. And then go back to the audio. We didn't have body cams at the time, but we had microphones that were attached to the car camera. And every time they're like, yeah, we went back and looked at it, like what they said was just completely false, and it exonerated me. So
the biggest thing is that just a few years ago, I had no problems with the tag readers. Repo guys have been using them for years. I have no problem with this stuff because the thing is that it required human effort to investigate that. And it is difficult. The attention span of a human being to keep up with a paragraph of data, much less what AI can do now. It's building a brain that never goes away and will have every movement we've ever had, whether you've been clocked here and there, and once it has your digital identity, you're not going anywhere without. I don't like it Because as it moves forward, and the idea of universal basic income, and then social credit scores coming, and I'm just like, okay, these are gateways to inevitable socialistic control, and I am not participating.
Who was it? Was it Kroger?
Have you seen? Hold on. Have you seen that they're putting the flock cameras on the dump trucks or the garbage trucks now?
Oh, they've had those for a while because I complain when they don't pick up my trash. They've had those.
Well, I know they have cameras to prove that they picked up trash and like the date and time. I knew that.
I
But
didn't
now
know
they're putting
this.
they're putting flock cameras facing forward and just at an angle. So now when you drive through neighborhoods, they're just collecting data. Whose
Picking
vehicles
up.
in this driveway? What radio frequency are we getting out of this house? I'm just like, okay, we are worse than China at this point.
So what about the other side of it, though? And so there was a quote that was bouncing around in my head on the way over here, and I have a terrible memory, but it was one of those that when Charlie Kirk got killed, it was one of those that bounced around that said he's okay with people getting killed for the Second Amendment. That's not really exactly what he said. It was something like, to have the Second Amendment, I'm okay with a little bit of that. You have to accept that, and it wasn't, if you read it for what it is, I get what he was saying. I don't think he was saying it was okay for people to get killed, but he's like, hey, for this right, there's gonna be some bad actors in it, and we have to accept that, and try to mitigate it as best we can. It is a regular thing that these, whether it's flock cameras, LPRs, what have you, catch all sorts of bad people because their car is an NCIC. It's been tagged as whatever. Like, hey, this is a car you need to look at. And as they're driving down the road, whether it's an Axon-equipped car or it's a flock camera or whatever, it's regularly on the news from Mountain Juliet Police because they have them and Metro doesn't. And so as soon as they hit the Wilson County line, they're like, "Hey, man, it's on," and they're pulling people out there. It's left and right, and so we're removing a lot of very dangerous people off the streets as well. I feel like there has to be some sort of oversight. I was pretty satisfied and honestly terrified with misusing NCIC and the audit process and the things. I don't know exactly what they did, but it sounded like they were monitoring every bit of it. And with great power comes great responsibility. I think
great responsibility.
If you could figure out a way to audit and make sure and limit the bad actors of doing these things, but then allow some sort of usage. I mean, because it's technology we could use for good as well. Mm-hmm. It's not just the bad stuff. So, we hear, I think I heard recently, like, hey, there was 5 officers across the country in the last year that were, okay, cool, like, burn them. I can tell you that like, good cops hate bad cops just as probably worse because it makes them look bad. And here they are just trying to do their job. Mm-hmm. So there's 5 people that did something bad. I wonder how many people in the time period from the first person to the 5th person, I wonder how many hundreds of criminals they pulled off the streets for it.
Maybe a lot. And here's the deal. It's not what's going on today that scares me. I know that the road to hell, I say it all the time, is paved with good intentions.
Sure.
And I can say, yeah, there's good intentions, there's good things happening. What scares me is 10 years from now. Once all this power is consolidated, I don't think the good will outweigh the potential bad, the potential control that our government could have on us. It terrifies me. People terrify me. Governments terrify me. The people that created our government was terrified of government, which is why they structured it the way they did. It's why Benjamin Franklin said the thing he said. It's why Reagan said the thing that he said. So you got to have people on both sides to get balance.
Sure.
So it's good that we can disagree and then still be, just still have a discussion. But I'm terrified of 10 years from now and where it leads. That scares me. I think just understanding history, Gulag Archipelago, I've read the Gulag Archipelago, freaked me out. No one knows about it. But if you read your history, it is terrifying when government just keeps taking and people keep allowing, you lose everything. Yep. And I just know how inherently evil I saw what happened with COVID, just a little bitty bug. And I saw the lies, and I see a guy plead the fifth 111 times. Should be burned at the stake for what he did, killed millions of people, separated millions across the world.
That's right.
And this was just a little virus that was literally, in my opinion, I didn't get a shot. I did not. I'm one of the 15% of the population that didn't. I'm not here to shame anybody if you did. But I'm proud to be one of the 15% that did not get it because I'm an anti-conformist to my core. I'm not an anarchist. I believe in law and order. but people scare me. Governments and organizations scare me because power corrupts at all levels.
And absolute
It
power
terrifies me.
corrupts absolutely.
Yep.
Speaking of power, I actually thought about this after we talked to. I know you're the AI guy.
Yeah.
Whose
Which is
side
why
are we
this
on?
shit freaks me out. Like, I know what I can do with AI. If you knew what I could do, and I am just a hillbilly, you know, it would terrify you.
Whose side are we on, man? So ChatGPT attacked Claude the other day. Like, I mean, is this the AI civil war?
I think
Is
it's
there a revolution
all
going on? Like,
I'm convinced it all comes from the same source.
I think
They're
so.
carbon copies of the original. And I think government dollars are being funded into private organizations to experiment with our data to see what they can do. Whether they know it, but grant dollars and how they're getting them, I think the root file is a carbon copy. I can make one just look just like the next. It's ridiculous how similar they are. You can't tell me the greatest technology that's ever been created is now easy. Everybody can do it. How's that even possible? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, we went from nothing to everyone, 6 companies producing carbon copies, and they just manipulate it a little bit, and they let this one do this thing over here, and they're fractions of a decimal point in ability constantly. It's like, it's all bullshit to me. I think it's all come from our government,
Actually,
or at least
agree
I
with
think
that,
it's
yeah.
all came from our government financing private industries, whether it be DARPA or whoever it is, but. You don't want to leave all that power in the hands of OpenAI. You want to spread it out a little bit and see what each person comes up with. You want, because no one knows how it works. You're not going to find an AI expert that can explain how the AI works. We have no idea. Just in the same way, I was in class today. We were talking about nobody knows how to make a car, and I said none of you can describe to me how to make a pizza. And I can. I said, okay, how do you do it? Okay, you get flour. I said, where'd the flour come from? Wheat. Where'd the wheat come from? Farms. Okay, who's running the farms? A farmer. What kind of equipment are they using? A tractor. Who made the rubber for the tires? Who produced the diesel fuel to run the tractor? We have no concept, but we can have these isolated pockets, and then I can have a role in responsibility. You can have a role, and that's how AI is built. But none of us can explain it. It's wild. So I'm scared. I'm just scared. But I'm not motivated by fear either. I'm motivated by history and what history has shown me. And people said, "Oh, you're prophetic." I've heard that before. And your wisdom, and how can you predict these things? I ain't predicting shit. I just looked at the past, and the past tells me what the future is going to look like if you leave things to their own devices, and it scares me. People terrify me.
anything that people touch at some point, anybody at any time is going to try to use whatever tool they've got to their advantage, or they can use against you. I mean, that's human nature for sure. I mean, whether it's, go back to the Viking times or whatever versus now, it's like the AI stuff you're talking about. That's just today's version of, a bow and arrow or whatever else are still using.
It's like a gun, man, in the hand of a good guy or a bad guy.
Here's what I see. Let's say it saves 1,000 lives a month for the next 7-8 years. But then control starts restricting, and we ended up in a civil war, and we kill half the population. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's where I see it'll eventually go. At some point, people are going to be like, look, it's enough. And then we end up in a civil war. I believe that's going to happen when you start stepping on people's liberties and their rights, and at least when they feel like it's been stepped on. I'm riding a back road, and there's a camera out there. I drove out there, and I thought, oh, somebody cut it down. I was at the wrong intersection. It was just 100 yards down the road, and it's obviously still there. I didn't cut it down. But it just
GPS
bothers
coordinates will be provided.
It bothers me. I get it.
Can you tell me where this camera's at? Because I've got a little free time on Saturday.
Yeah, trust me, there's a database that shows where every one of them are at.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm just bringing up my concerns, and it's fun to talk about.
It is.
And I just
can't believe how
love
it
seeing
set
these
people
people
on fire.
cutting them down.
Yeah.
Dude.
Now, it's funny because a lot of the people that are cutting them down, I wouldn't even agree with. Extremely left-leaning. It kind of blew my mind. Like, holy shit, we found something that both sides agree on. Look at the unity these things are creating.
Because I know as many conservative people that think they're completely out of line as I do people on the other side. You know what? Maybe they're bringing everybody
Block
together.
cameras
That
are the
was
things
Flock's
to
plan
bring
the whole time was
bipartisanship.
yes, bring
That's hilarious.
Bring the country together.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand where you're coming from because when I first saw him, I didn't have a problem with him. Everybody was talking to me about him. I was like, I could care less. Look where you live. Like, you know what I mean? You get into the city, you're going to be part of all kinds of social programs. They're socialistic programs. Cities are full of them. You know what I mean? It's feel-good money. Anyways, you move out into the country, you get to avoid that nonsense that happens in the city. But then I thought, my rights are being trampled on. I don't want anyone to know. What if I piss off the wrong person? What if my opinion aggravates one person that has access to that data, that wants to manipulate that data, or just want to mess with me for whatever reason? It happens all the time. Someone gets an attitude towards you. Shit, we saw what happened to our own presidents. Like, you know what I mean? Investigated illegally and destroyed so many lives. And I'm just like, look, man, 9/11 and when they opened up George Bush, I'm pretty pissed off what he did with like giving all this access to our data. It's a problem. It was a huge setback, I think. I got no problem with good old-fashioned police work. And you know what? If somebody murders me, I just hope you figure out who it was. I mean, if I'm a victim from it, that's fine. I'm okay with it. I would much rather do that than give up my civil liberties. But that's my opinion.
Don't drive through Memphis then.
I have driven through
So
Memphis.
I've been there.
I worked in Chicago for 2 years.
Well, I don't know how long this is that they've had these, but I've been working in Memphis a couple days a week since like January or so. And did not realize that there's a camera about every 100 to 200 feet in that entire city. I drove down, I think it was Poplar or Lamar, one of the two. Not a great part of town. In the 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, it was cold outside, so it got dark early. Not a car on the street anywhere, nobody out on the curb, nobody at the gas station. I thought I was in like a quarantine zone for a few minutes. I'm like, where's everybody at? Something's not right. That was about the time the National Guard had been deployed out there, and everybody just kind of scattered. Well, long straight street isn't the gridded off part of town, street was level. You could see probably a mile or more. And on one pole on the left, there was a flashing blue light. Then 100 yards up on the right, flashing blue light. I mentioned this to somebody, and someone said they call them Memphis Christmas lights. And it's every one of those is a camera. And if you recall, I think it was 3 years ago, there was a guy that got the teetotal crap beat out of him. They killed him. Cops killed him. And every bit of it was caught on those city cameras, and that's how they used that to prosecute him. Yeah.
I've got no problem with like closed caption TV, like where it's being recorded. It's just when you release it to the internet to private companies. These are private companies, and I am certain they are owned by foreign people. You know what I mean? I know it's based in Atlanta. So I heard people, it's in Atlanta. Yeah, but I think it's actually. You can look it up, Brennan.
Where their investors coming from?
Would you look it up, please?
You know?
Where who's the owners of Flock cameras?
I mean, they got to have investors, and those investors are probably at least of some of them are foreign, 100%.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, anything on the internet is on some level available to be looked at anyway. So. You get somebody with enough time and enough resources, they're going to dig.
It's on there. It's staying there.
But when I don't mind humans having to do their own research, it's just when the AI is doing it for it. I do AI for a living, and which is why I'm against it. I'm against these things because it just takes all the effort out of it. I just like
you got a fighting chance with human are lazy.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'll see you all day long.
Yeah.
Let me do the bare minimum.
But not all humans. Some humans. I mean. Some humans will, like good investigators. Like when I was in Chicago, I repoed cars, and I was an investigator. We call ourselves Illinois State Recovery Agents. I had a little badge. I never wore it. I thought I'd get shot. Anyways, man, I was a good investigator, skip tracer, and it was fun. I loved it. Like
human hunting.
Yeah, it was a blast, man. And now with AI, it'd be so easy. And now I visited my boss a few years ago, and every one of his repo trucks has got cameras pointing everywhere, so it just flags people. If a finance company put it up for repo, it'll flag the system. Who owns it?
Atlanta, Georgia.
No, that's not the.
Yeah, it's got to be deeper.
Be-all. That's not the be-all. ChatGPT, that shit. Use AI.
Yeah, let's use itself against itself.
Hey, Lucy.
We're going to start another fight.
Yeah, explain to me this fight. What did ChatGPT do to Claude?
Not really sure.
I don't believe
one
any
of them
that shit.
allegedly. So the way I heard the story, I don't remember which one it was, that one of them had been given a task to do, and like in this test bed that allegedly was completely separated from the internet, segregated, whatever. And to find its answer, it decided to go to
Claude.
the other AI and like broke through like several levels of security to try to find the answer of what. So I don't think it was any sort of like destructive attack, but it broke
need
through
access.
levels of security with at another AI to try and find the answers to the questions that it didn't know.
Well, it's funny. I had that computer hacking this computer last night, and it was in Terminal. Do you know what Terminal is? It's like DOS.
Okay.
Well, it's like where everything is like the directories, the back end. I'm not a programmer, but I have an AI that's a great programmer. And so they communicate through iCloud. And so this one couldn't get an update. Like I updated my codecs, and then I couldn't run it on this computer. And I'm like, I told this computer, fix it. So they're talking back and forth. They're constantly talking back and forth. And then I can interface on my phone and talk to both computers. It's pretty wild. I mean, part of it's just an experiment to see what I can do, and I'm learning a lot too. But it is wild how they can get backdoors into other computers. And of course, I'm having to give it permission because Apple's incredible with security. And so, but if I say you're good to go and I give it full access, then it can just plow right through it. It's pretty wild.
It's interesting.
It's terrifying is
That's
what it is.
scary.
Well, I'm still a baby AI user because the picture I sent you after.
Yeah, he was telling me he had to go to Memphis. And I said, Memphis can wait till Tuesday. You're coming with us on Monday. And he sent me himself with a gold grill and then one with like an iced out grill. He's like, which one you like?
Diamonds on the top, gold on the bottom. I sent that to my wife, and she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Been down to Memphis for a while, you know."
Was this
found
your
somebody
use of
local.
AI?
Yes. Yeah, that's where I'm
The
at.
most powerful technology ever created. We're making grills.
I've been started using like Chat GPT or whatever. Maybe 2
I
or 3
know you're
weeks
not the
ago.
only one. You're not the
So
only
I'm
one.
like, I don't want it to think for me, but
It doesn't. It doesn't have to think.
I'd
for you.
rather
You think-
do the surface level. I mean, I used it to give me Elvis hair, so
Did you?
I did. It looks good.
Does it? Did you post it?
No.
Well, I don't know if we're beating a dead horse on this flock thing. Did you
You find it?
get your point across? Did you find it?
It just says a private company from Atlanta, Georgia.
No bullshit.
See, private company that just doesn't
Oh
jive.
shit! You got two-tone.
yes, diamonds on the top, gold on the bottom.
Heck yeah!
Could you send that so we can flash it on the screen?
Oh, you
Well,
got it.
That's
I'm
true. I
glad
do
you
have it.
I'm glad you had an opposing view. I'm no expert on this stuff. I'm literally brand new. I'm watching Instagram clips and I'm just having fun seeing people like stand up for something. Good grief, ain't nobody fought for anything in so long.
What I've found interesting is every post on Facebook about flock, whatever, especially in like the local Murfreesboro, whatever pages, click on who posted it and see where they're from. Almost none of them are from here.
No, yeah, I agree.
And so it's some sort of, but so to me, I think the guy, the Copville guy I was telling you, his point wasn't that, you know, flock Axon cameras, good, bad, whatever. He said all of a sudden, like within the last 6 months, nobody's saying that, hey, these cameras are invasive. Flock is their enemy. And he's like, and I have a pretty good feeling that he's like, if you look at this, Axon has every reason in the world to try to kick out every bit of competition that they have. And he's like, and my gut tells me that this is some sort of propaganda thing that's been started by them to try to kick their competition out. It kind of, I mean, I'm not a conspiracy
It would
theory
make
guy, but the
sense.
way he said it, it kind of makes sense. Like, why is everybody pissed off at Flock, and they're not mad at LPR cameras, or they're not mad at, like, they are mad at Xerox. They're not
When
mad
you
at
say
printers.
LPR cameras, tell me what you mean.
So you mentioned the repo cars.
Yeah.
Those little, like,
Yeah.
they look like little horns. Those things are-
License plate reader. Never mind.
Yep, yep, yep.
I'm a dummy. I know what an LPR is. Sorry, I had a brain
Yes, I mean,
fart.
like I said, I mean, the repo
I don't have a
industry-
problem with them. I don't have a problem with anything that goes to a closed network database. I really don't care.
Sure.
It's feeding the AI is what scares me. Feeding the AI, all of our digital
it power.
movements freaks me out. And it's way more than just a license plate reader. It knows every detail of your car. It's wild. If you knew what I could do with AI, it would probably freak you out. And if you give me access to every camera and then I can build a database and find everybody's movements, I could do that if I really wanted to. People are hacking them left and right. They're super simple to hack. I have no desire to do that. It's not interesting to me. Talking shit about those cameras are interesting to me.
I think to me, like it's not that I'm okay with it. I think I've just become used to it. That when I walk out in public, you know, at the police world, they're like, you catch these First Amendment auditors videotaping other people. It's so easy to walk away from that. Like if you're in public, you have absolutely no reason to expect privacy. Somebody's videotaping you, whatever, move on. And so I think that as I'm walking down the street, I'm like, okay, because I also for years have been in technology, so I've installed cameras, camera systems, things like that. So I tend to notice little things probably a little more than others. I'm like, everywhere I go, I'm within 100 yards, any city, you're within 100 yards of a camera everywhere you go.
And I got no problem with it.
And I'm okay with it because if something happens to me or something happens to somebody I care about, I just hope they got a really good picture of who did it, and then they can use AI or whatever to facial recognition, whatever, and they'll be done.
For me, it just goes back to I got no problem with these cities want to do, but don't put the shit out in the country. Some of us just want to ride back roads, and just live life basically anonymously without a digital fingerprint. It just started pissing me off when I started seeing them out in the country. I thought, this is going too far. What is happening here?
I think anonymity is something of the past, unless you are way the hell off the grid in Alaska or something.
You can't even do that anymore.
You're not. There's no such thing as off.
You
the
can't
grid
do that anymore. I was off the grid in Georgia the other night. I was so excited. No cell phone signal. Did I tell you about this? No cell phone signal. Zero. It was an SOS, and then it says,
Oh no! I sent you a message on satellite.
"Yeah, yeah," and everybody's like, "Oh, you was using satellite." I was like, "How did you know?" I guess it notifies you.
It tells you.
Yeah, and then after the satellite would pass, it said, "Wait 9 minutes, another satellite's coming." I'm like, "Good grief! There is no place on this planet." Thanks, Elon. Which I knew this. Elon freaks me out, just to be honest with you.
He's an alien.
That's too much power. I think he took Neuralink a couple years ago. I think he's been using it, thinking the internet, thinking his own AI. It kind of freaks me out a little bit. And I mean, I have my opinions about that. I'm kind of nervous about how much power is consolidated into one person. And he props himself up like a true conservative, freedom of speech, but I'm still like, something's off. None of this makes sense. You can't go anywhere without being digitally recognized, not even deep into the mountains. And it was kind of cool just looking for my satellite, sending them, I'm safe. I miss the days of people wondering if you've been eaten by a bear and shit off a cliff for 2 or 3 days. You know what I mean? Now everybody knows.
Well, there used to be an industry for these little hiking things.
There still
you
is.
put
You're
those
back like the
GPS
SOS, like all it is I'm okay.
You hit
Yes.
a button.
I'm okay.
Yes.
I'm
Or
okay.
send help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a show on Discovery Channel years ago that was
Garmin, there was a big manufacturer in those.
so this was a guy that said like, hey, if you want to go off grid, here's what you have to do. And he's like, hey, you take your hard drive and you beat it to pieces and you microwave it and whatever else. This is what you do with your phone. And then he started getting even deeper at like the tires from his car. It's like there's
GPS sensors.
There's
off
like a little
signal.
inventory tag on there that if I can go to Discount Tire and I can find the serial numbers off the tires that you bought and then call Michelin or whoever, and say, can you give me like the inventory tag? It's RFID or something.
It is RFID.
And so then I can trace that. And if there's an RFID reader somewhere that says, okay, hey, this tire passed by this at some point
That's
in time.
exactly what's happening
Yeah.
with this technology that we're complaining
And
about.
that was like 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago.
But it wasn't
all
managed
those
by an
things.
AI. That's the difference. It never forgets. It doesn't have to observe it twice. It just stores it. It's aware. It's alert. It's omnipotent, omniscient, kind of like godlike abilities to some degree. That scares me.
I just anytime up until recently, actually I still do, but I use Chat GPT. I was trying to decide whether to keep my truck or get another one. And I'm like, well, compare this to this, and it would go through. And it was actually pretty cool. Then I caught myself like, it's like I'm texting another person for a second. And my oldest daughter will refer to things like, well, I was talking to Chat GPT about something, whatever problem she had in her life. Like, please don't say that. Like, I was using an app and this app gave me some data. Please do not say you were talking to it because that weirded me out. I'm picturing some little iRobot dude with a phone that's talking back to her.
It's
like
funny. It's the number one thing I've been teaching for 4 years. Treat it like it's a person because everybody has a Google brain. And I've actually instructed people, and I've told people don't type, speak. And so for the 4 years that I've been using it, I've been finding ways of using voice to text. I've used all kinds of technology. Now we can just open it up and talk to it. I mean, if you want to talk to Lucy and be like, what up, Lucy? I'm sitting here with Tim and Carlos and Brennan doing a podcast.
Hey, crew. Sounds like a party. What's the
No, listen, the reality is, no, shut up, listen to me. We've been talking about flock cameras, and I've been talking about how I am disgusted by it, especially for the fact that they're out in the country. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think I would think about flock cameras out in the country?
Nathan, I think you see it as a bad trade. Some safety theater for a whole lot of passive tracking.
I'm
in
like
town,
Benjamin.
people
I'm like
extra.
Benjamin. Was it Benjamin Franklin?
Franklin.
Yeah, Benjamin Franklin. What would he say about these flock cameras?
Yeah, Nathan, you're not wrong to invoke Franklin. He warned about trading essential liberty for a little temporary safety. If you saw flat cameras on rural roads,
Could
I
you
think
whisper
he'd
this?
say,
You're being loud
don't.
right now. We're in a podcast. Be quiet, okay? Just whisper, please.
Sure, softer. He'd likely say, don't normalize.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's not terrifying at all. You know what's really sad about that? It's like that movie. AI is now some people's
is
best
her.
friends.
This is her. That's a gimmick. I could care less about that. That's like calling up OpenAI over the phone. That's essentially what that is. It's cool, but it's not that useful. If I activate work and I let it talk to my computers, I can now use that chat feature to communicate with all the data that I have in this room. 20 terabytes of hard drive. I can use that feature now to bullshit with everything I've ever documented. And then I can have it do work for me as we speak.
That I've seen recently, so I wasn't aware. I mean, most of the AI stuff is way beyond anything. It's making goofy pictures or whatever. You know, I haven't really used it for work, but I've seen a lot of people, and I'm in project management, so you know, people record meetings, what have you. And one of the things I hate to do, hey, send the notes out from your meetings. Let's go and cover all the stuff that we talked about and who said they're going to do what. I'm like, crap, I didn't write all this crap down. You know, but they'll record it. They'll run it through whatever, you know, whatever AI they want to. And it spits out these like really, really good, concise notes. Matter of fact, today, I forget, it was called Claude instead of Claude. It was a little magnetic thing. My boss, he and I went on a walkthrough to look at adding cable in a new building, and he stuck it on the back of his phone. And as he was going through, he would, after everything, he handwrote all of his notes on a tablet, and then read them all out loud to this device, and it put together, I mean, gorgeous notes and like a project plan and all this other stuff. And I mean,
We used it this past Saturday. It's our new
Look,
hog
all you
group
have to do
secretary.
for 4 years, this is all I've done. God, I've been so far ahead. I open up voice memo, and if you see hundreds of conversations, every meeting I've been in, I open up voice notes and I yell. I said, y'all don't mind if I record this, do you? And I sit there and I record every meeting I've been in for the last 4 years, and then I take that transcript. Now, in the old days, voice memo did not transcribe. So I would have to take the voice, run it through a software, which Adobe's great, Vimeo was great, and it would transcribe it for me. Well, in Adobe, it can identify the frequencies in voices, and it can determine user 1, user 2, user 3. So I used to take it that way and do my meetings. And then every AI I've built is from conversations, is from journals, notes, and now every podcast gets fed into. Brennan, how do you edit the videos? Tell them how you edit the videos.
What do you mean?
Speak in your microphone, please. How do you go about identifying and editing videos now?
We just upload the transcriptions of everybody talking. The
It
whole
knows-
podcast video.
It just
and
says
knows who's talking. It'll be
User
like, this
1,
is Carlos.
user 2. I don't even have to tell it it's Carlos anymore. It'll just hear my voice is different than yours, but it knows enough about me and you because it's listened to how many podcasts we've done together.
Bunch of.
So it's able to pick up on nuances that Carlos would be interested in. I mean, and it knows he's kind of the anchor of the show and he brings things back. So based on Carlos's patterns, it can't hear his voice. It's just reading a transcription. It knows Carlos well enough every single time to be able to identify what he's thinking, what he said, and it'll pick you out. I'll just be like, oh yeah, Tim was on the show. And then it says, okay, Tim sounds different than the other 60 episodes I've heard. And that's how every one of the reels get produced is from that, from the transcripts. So
Crazy.
it's insane.
Cut
But
all
this is
your
why I've
cameras
been
down.
so productive.
Yeah.
Put them down now.
Yeah.
Well, this is why I've been so productive over the last 3 or 4 years is that I record everything. I collect, analyze, optimize. Those are the 3 steps that I've been doing for the last 4 years with AI. And I just want to raise bees. If you see anyone that's, most people when they quit a really good tech job, they move on to something else and they're optimistic about life. If you look at anyone that is retired from AI tech, they say, love your family, spend time with your kids, enjoy what you're doing because it's gone.
There's a lot of the Apple
The
guys, like
disconnect.
they don't even allow their children to have phones because they've seen just how bad it's to rip families apart.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Which is why I'm heavily focused on workforce development, the workforce of the future, trying to prepare young people for a lack of jobs that are not going to be there. But electricians, mechanics, welders, really, I think of it as infrastructure-based jobs. Those will be here for a while. And I think if we do it right, we'll have an AI accompanying us as like this little memory bank that's like, hey, and I just open my AI and show it anything I want, and it'll tell me, oh yeah, you need this, you need that, and it just knows. It knows. I don't want to go any more down AI. I'm kind of sick of it, but I use it every day, all day.
And, Tim and I are over here like ordering tinfoil hats to put on, also
terrifies
to
me.
block the radio waves. Like, it's so scary. Now, I know you just said you were tired of it, but I had a
I've been
conversation
sick of it for
today
years.
with somebody that I know, college professor, and now they're all instituting this software that they run to see if they've used AI and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, for everything they do that, they find a hack, a way around it.
Yeah, they're so far
This, that,
behind.
and the other. It's insane.
I was going to the University of Tennessee, MTSU, Vanderbilt, and teaching them how to use it, and they're so behind. It's sad how far behind they are, but they're only behind because they don't use it. They're all scared of it. Everybody that's so scared of it, they're afraid to use it. And I'm like, you are going to be consumed by
But
it.
the students are using it left and right.
I thought they were. I've been in these classrooms. I'm like, because I'm telling them what they're going to learn: motor control, PLCs, robotics. I'm like, I want to teach you all these things. And then I'm like, and how many of you use AI? None. I'm like, well, bro,
Well,
this is something we're going to change because it's not going away.
Crowd. I think that's your crowd. It is a totally different story in regular universities. We were talking about an English class, and in that English class, it was something strange. The instructor put some writing in white,
Yeah, I saw that.
so that you couldn't see it, and then literally these guys were cutting and pasting it just into
Yeah, I saw
into
that.
ChatGPT, and it was giving them
2 out of the entire
instructions,
class.
and 2 people out of the entire class passed because everybody just used ChatGPT.
People have been cheating with it for the longest, but they haven't been teaching people how to use it appropriately. If you just want to plagiarize with it, you're just going to fall behind from the people
exactly what
that
you're
know
gonna
how to
do.
use it appropriately. It should be there to magnify your ability. You know, that's really an appropriate way of using it. Although I don't want to go down the AI.
Well, we've been doing it for 20 damn minutes already. That's
I don't
what we
mean
do.
to. Well, this is a different part of the AI.
I want to go find my teachers.
I wish there was a big red button. I would hit it and shut it all down.
I want to go find my teachers that told me that I had to show my work because you'd never have a calculator with you. You know,
They're all full of, they're all wrong.
yeah, it's like I told you were wrong at some point, but they didn't want to listen to me. So.
Look, none of it matters.
Yeah.
None of it matters. Universal basic income is coming. Elon Musk said by 2036, money will have no value. So all these 401ks everybody's fighting to invest in, it won't even matter. It's not going to matter. Every robot is going to make everything, and it's just going to basically be free. And everybody's going to commit suicide because they've lost their one purpose, which is going to work. Imagine, imagine working your whole life, or just imagine knowing that people have worked their whole life, and then you go to get out in the industry, and now there's no job, and they're just like, well, hey, we're going to give you a check. And now people got to sit around and talk. Could you imagine?
No, people need to find purpose.
I know they need to find purpose, but it's going to take 2 generations before. It's going to take generations
There's
before
people that have jobs now that don't want purpose. I know people that go every day that hate everything about their lives.
But it's probably keeping them alive.
No, what, bitterness and hate?
Yes, believe it or not.
Like
it's a motivator.
I'd rather, you know what? Freaking jump off a bridge, man. Because
I got no problem with
I
it.
am so sorry. But the mere fact that they complain about everything, the smallest thing, the smallest inconvenience, and you're cussing up a storm, like those are the people that need to be making big rocks into little rocks and get some perspective. Like your
not
life
gonna
is
happen.
so comfortable that you're miserable and phoning in the bare minimum is okay. Like, how do you live lazy like that? It sets me on fire, man.
We are in
Like,
the roaring 20s again. The same roaring 20s that caused the first big collapse, the Great Depression.
Yes, thanks, lazy
It was postponed.
a-holes.
It was supposed to happen in 2008. It was predicted in 1996. Strauss and Howe had it laid out perfectly in the fourth turning. They described everything to a T. The 08 collapse happened, and we spent $30 trillion at blowing this massive bubble that is going to pop. It's unsustainable. It is going to pop. And then all of this will be reset.
Well,
Because hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. We are in the fourth turning, and we've been in it for 18 years. Longer.
I think
20
there's
years.
a weird subset within here where there were guys who were strong men who have become weak men out of
That's the point.
convenience.
That's exactly how it
And-
happens.
But
that's what prosperity causes.
But those guys, like, remember the Greatest Generation? They stayed hard the whole damn time, even when things were good.
They were hard
still
because of
taught
what they
discipline.
suffered through.
Yes,
Because they got
But
to experience
I
suffering.
know men that have suffered in battle, in tons of situations, and they are the biggest menopausal thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I have never seen such low testosterone acting, emotionally unintelligent babies, and they're bitching. But you take them back 10 years ago and they were the hardest, baddest mamma jammas on the planet, and now they're just complaining about life or reliving their glory days over and over and over again because they have no purpose. And it is the most frustrating thing in the world to be around. Like, you know what? You and I, we've all done a lot of stuff. I'm not identified by that particular chapter of my life. Has it gotten me to here? Yes. I feel it. When you had the uniform on, you were the uniform. When you had the badge on, it was hard for me to let go of the badge. You fall into these lines, but you can't get stuck there. Like, I'm still all of those things, but I'm me today. And I still have purpose and things I want to go towards and goals and motivation. How can you sit there like a sack of freaking skin and have zero? I just don't get it, man. And it makes me so angry.
It's so simple. It's because they have the choice. Real suffering, your body is designed to overcome difficult things. And if you don't have difficult things that happen naturally, then your mind will create them for you. And it's called mental health. And that's what they're dealing with because they have the choice. I tell people all the time, the worst thing for human beings is choices. Because we're always going to take the path of least resistance. So if you're smart, you will be like you, and you will create conflict. You will create suffering in your own life.
Freaking pay for it.
You pay for it. We talk about this all the time. And it's mental health is like that thing, man. It's hard to motivate yourself. An object not in motion tends to stay, complacent where it's at. And it's but here's the deal. When it all collapses and you have to dig a well for water and you have to hunt your food, you know how fucking happy you're going to be when you put an arrow through the heart of a deer? You're going to be on top of the world because think about what makes us happy. It's accomplishment. And if you don't have something really difficult to overcome, you don't get the sensation of accomplishment. That's it.
Well, and those guys you're talking about were probably bare minimum people, but high performing bare minimum people. So whatever their bare minimum is to get by, whatever the worst time they went through, they did whatever the bare minimum was to get through that really, really crazy hard time. They weren't up there the whole time. They don't want that. They're like, you know what? I can climb a mountain, but if I can walk down the street, I'm going to do that too.
I know.
And they'll take the path of least resistance, but they're super high performers, super high capable. They just don't do that unless they're forced.
It's gotten my
it's not gonna
tolerance
change.
for it is gone.
You're going to have to let go of it.
Oh, it's so well. It's
gonna drive you
unavoidable.
crazy.
It's already driving me crazy.
You're going to have to let go of that.
there are places like I'd rather surround myself with positive people moving in a certain direction, people that are smarter than me, that have ambition and drive, that are accomplishing something.
Yeah.
My friendships, my mentorship. But there's places we go where we can't avoid those turkeys. You know what I'm saying? And I can't fly like an eagle if I'm hanging around with turkeys all day. And it drives me nuts. And I sit there and I find myself getting so angry and I'm losing so much respect for these people that are around me because I'm like, you're choosing mediocrity.
Yeah.
You're choosing, and I have zero respect for laziness. Yeah. Like there is no work ethic. It is bare minimum. You're going to break a nail typing on a keyboard. Like grow a pair. What happened to your nuts, man? I'm sorry. It literally burns me up, dude. It burns me up.
Natural selection exists for a reason. The world will correct itself, okay? It's just because of prosperity. It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse until it all stops.
I know.
So
and I gotta stop myself and give
are
grace.
shortening your own life,
Yeah.
stressing out over don't worry about them.
I know.
Piss on them.
I got to pray about it. But it's
Shrug.
like,
Do the
hey,
shrug.
man, I don't do well with the shrug.
Shrug it.
I'm over here like,
do this. Try this.
I pray. Listen, I love Jesus, but I want to throat punch a little. Like, it's like that. Like, that's where I'm at with this because it's day in and day out, and I don't have the energy for it.
You can't let these people have that effect on you.
I know.
Move
I used
on.
to try to be a positive thing, and I'm like,
You
you
still are.
You
You're constantly
draining.
You're
son of a gun.
constantly posting positive stuff.
Well, because luckily there's people that are hungry for it and want to receive it.
Focus on that.
You know, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But the rest
Fuck
of you
the
go
rest.
take a long walk off a short pier.
There you go.
What's the politician? He's from Louisiana. He's a Kennedy. His name's Kennedy. He's got curly hair. That guy,
yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. He's like, at 8 a.m. I want to go live with Jesus. At 10:30, I still want to live with Jesus, but I'm pretty sure I want to punch a couple people in the face right here. His days, whether you agree with his politics or not, the way he speaks about stuff is some of the funniest. He's got a way with words. It's really interesting.
I know I've talked about this before. It goes back to that mouse experiment that happened in the 60s. Look it up. Have you heard about it? We are not. Okay, I'll go say it one more time. Utopia. Does everybody know what utopia means? What does it mean?
That's the perfect of everything.
It's Greek for no place. It does not exist.
Well, I mean,
And it drives me crazy. So we try to create utopias, but they'll never exist.
Sure.
And a utopia will destroy us. A utopia will destroy us faster than anything. There was an experiment done in the 60s. This doctor created this mouse utopia. And he gave them all the food, water, vitamins, nutrients, whatever they could need to prosper. And let's say, I don't remember the number he started with, but let's just put a dozen out there. Well, these dozen blossomed. They exploded. And I think they got around 600. The population got to about 600. And then immediately declined, and every mouse died. And it was because they didn't have to work for food and water, and they lost their purpose. He ended up writing about all these different mice. The mothers were cannibalizing the children. They had some called the beautiful ones that would just sit and groom themselves, and they were antisocial. It was a perfect description.
The beautiful ones wouldn't mate. I remember this.
Yes, it was a perfect description of humanity. We are not designed. God created us to overcome difficult things. Unfortunately, every 100 years, we build a society up. Every society does it. We build it up to where it's at its the Roaring '20s was the last time at its peak, and then it immediately dissolves. That's what's going to happen. We've been postponing it because we keep printing money.
Good. I listened to this sermon this morning from Pastor Joby Martin, and they were talking about rest. And they were like, most of us rest from work, but God didn't create rest for that. He created rest so that we could work, that we had the energy to work.
I like that.
And we've lost that. Yeah. We're always looking for the next vacation, the next break, the
trying to buy our
15 smoke
happiness.
breaks a day, instead of resting so that we can do a better job.
It is a privilege to work.
It is a privilege to work.
Matter of fact,
it is a
I've been
privilege
researching.
to be exhausted from good work.
I was always sold. Can we talk about heaven for a second?
Let's go.
I was always sold that heaven's this cloudy place, where everybody's floating around, streets of gold. It drove me crazy. I thought, why would I want that? That doesn't sound enticing to me at all. As a child, I thought this. And I kind of rejected the idea. I thought, well, why would we even want streets of gold? It's because gold's rare. Well, if concrete was rare, we would want streets of concrete. Mm-hmm. Then I got to doing some research, watching YouTube videos. And I saw some wonderful descriptions of what heaven would actually look like. Heaven's supposed to be on earth, I'm learning. And apparently, work is something that will not end in heaven. Right? Work is part of and learning will not end. What I'm learning is that because God is infinite, we will learn for an eternity. We will constantly grow. They believe art will happen. They believe effort is going to be produced. And I thought, now that sounds like heaven. I think of heaven here on earth just as it is. I heard this, I forget what his name is. He's one of those yogis. He said, what if this is heaven and we're just making a mess of it? I thought, that's pretty good because we are, because apparently the Garden of Eden was some form of heaven here on earth, right? It required effort. And man, it feels good to accomplish something. It feels good to build something. We live in sin, so our effort and our work is contaminated, But I thought, okay, I could get my head around a heaven here on earth where there's still streams. Sorry, little fishies. I'm going to be reeling a few in. So apparently there'll still be death because we're going to have food, right? So if there's going to be food, something has to be sacrificed, whether it's a plant. Anyways, I don't have it all figured out, but I was just like, okay, I like the idea of still having to produce effort every day because my value honestly comes from the effort I put into the world to try to make it a little bit better for the people around me. I feel good about that. The only reason I do this dang podcast is not because I like it. It's because I feel like I have a responsibility to do it because apparently there's one or two people out there that seem to get something from it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks,
Well,
Bob
like,
and Sally.
If every workout was good, if every day was good, at some point in time it would just get boring.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have bad to feel, you know, to be able to appreciate what's good. And I've
100%.
any time I've gone through negative stuff in life, it's like you try to look at that for a second to say, if you think about sales, they're like, hey, you know, you got to get 9 no's before you get 1 yes.
Right.
And the outlook of, hey man, I just got to know, that means I'm that much closer
Yeah,
to my 1 yes.
that's a good attitude.
And going through something like, hey man, this sucks, but it's going to pay off later on.
right.
So
Feeling.
let's just
feeling.
eat it, go through it, and
Yeah, what you're chasing is the feeling that your body produces when you get that yes. That is the greatest thing ever. Not money, not possessions. It's the feeling of overcoming something that you felt you were never going to get to.
But that's what utopia is to me, because it's something that never exists, or maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but it's something to chase. It's something to say, like, I'm going through, you know, if today's bad or tomorrow's bad or whatever, hey, ultimately, that's where I want to be. And I need to keep facing that direction. And I need to know that there has to be some level of hope that maybe utopia is different for you to me.
100%.
What I want.
I just know the meaning of the word.
Yeah.
That's why,
Overcoming.
Mountain Dew, donuts, and like no calories don't count. Like utopia for me, I'm good.
That's
with
a
it.
I mean, I'm okay with that part.
But like, I need something to chase. I want to go in that direction. And
But small wins, like you said, I know you don't work out at all, but
Never.
you know, if you were to, you know, there's days where you get up and you don't want to go to the gym and you feel sore and you go and you feel awesome afterwards and it set your tone for the day. If you worked out, you'd understand that. But those small things, like that's why I get up at 4:00 in the morning, because I want to do something awesome and hard before I get to work to deal with all this laziness and nonsense. Because I've already
It
got
doesn't seem to be working.
Do you
Here, I
understand
don't
what I'm
work out
saying?
at all, and I don't worry about any of the shit you're constantly
If you
stressed
do it
over.
right,
because we're built different.
if you do it right, it's the hardest part of your day, and you've already accomplished it before you
Yeah.
do anything else.
Can I say, though, I've been thinking about it. I've been really tired lately, like super tired. But, you know, my roles changed, and I've been thinking, God, maybe I need to get back in the gym. Then I got to thinking about the gym. I can't remember one damn time that I felt like I had more energy. How long was I going to the gym? A year or two?
Like 3 hours. It was.
Well, last time I was
Yeah.
here, you bought like 21. It was 21 days.
Yeah,
or
and then I
21
started
visits.
paying
Yeah.
for it.
Then he
but
paid
then,
for it,
but
but
then,
didn't use it.
listen, they overbook the rooms because you got to like get ahead of time.
No, don't you come in with your nonsense.
Well, you got to
excuse.
book. You got to book your
Your
time.
life changed.
I can't remember that.
You started staying up later. You put a lot more on your plate. Do not try to sell that, sir.
Wait, why was Lucy
Grounding
not reserving
friendship.
your classes for you ahead of time?
I could now. That technology wasn't available, but it can definitely do that now.
Hey, can I
Okay,
borrow that?
undergrowth.
I'm dying to get into the 5 and 6 a.m.
I got you. I told you. You
and,
just
hey,
sit
teachers,
down with
watch
me.
this. I'm getting AI to work it.
Well, sit down with
Yeah.
me for an hour.
Well,
spend $200 a month, and I got you.
the people that drive you nuts,
Fine.
the people that don't want to do anything, don't want to accomplish anything, if that's something that ever bothers you at all, most people that go to the gym every day, they're going to make themselves suffer a little bit. They're going to do something tough, whatever their version of tough is, and there's a little bit of an accomplishment. Now, the first couple of years sucks.
Oh, is that what it was? I didn't go long enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it always
I can
hurts.
find something else
I'm
to
always
do.
a little bit sore. I've gotten to the point now, like, well, with traveling for work as much, I've missed a ton of CrossFit, and I realized
It shows.
that when I thought I was in bad shape, I was in great shape compared to now. Like today, we had to run around the building 3 times 200 meters, and the second time around, I'm like, I don't like. We have bicycles, motorcycles. We've been in the wheel. Why in the hell am I doing this? And so, like, it's like I'm coming back down, but it's still, it's like I accomplished something. I pushed myself to do something that was a little bit tough, and it's just kind of I mean, I have to do that more than enough. I've missed more than 2 days of doing something. Doesn't matter how much. Doesn't matter how
Right.
hard.
That's
Just
right.
Get up, go challenge yourself a little bit, and then from that, again, if you do it right, everything from that point, that should be the pinnacle of the hardest thing you've done that day, and everything should be down from there.
Well, I've decided just to finish my day off with a walk. When I eat, I'm going to go on a walk. Fast walk. Brisk, as they would say.
I would pay to see this man mall walk.
I'm a walker.
You know,
We
I
get
can
the
walk 3.5, 4 miles an
Can
hour.
we get you some of those purple, like,
that's what
what, 1.5 pound dumbbells to.
Yeah, I ain't carrying no
I'm a
extra
pony.
shit.
I'm a pony.
I'll say this, though. Like, I mean,
I think walking's healthy. Way
Walking
healthier
is
than all this
healthy.
other
Movement
stuff.
is
You're
healthy.
probably killing yourselves, just so you know. I'm
no
going to
problem.
outlive y'all by so many years, and you're going to be so pissed
He's
off.
fermented in his
there's
evening
no probably.
whiskey.
Like,
and
I'm gonna do
walks.
another surgery at some point in time
Yeah.
from all this
See?
stuff. But I mean, to me, so yeah, we do stupid stuff. But as far as gym, it's a little bit.
But
nuts.
look at you right now. You look
I
good.
mean, if you say so.
In
I
the short
appreciate
term,
that.
at least you're going to look good.
Until
while you-
everything breaks and arthritis kills me, but
Yeah.
the inflammation in my bloodstream, whatever.
And we'll keep fighting.
But like whatever it is, if you do something, I tell my kids, like if you find something that's repeatable, that you enjoy to do, and it's more than what you did yesterday, that's it. Just move.
Run it.
Go do something. You go for a walk after dinner. If you didn't do that yesterday, that's awesome.
I just want to help digest my food. I've been doing 1 meal a day. Yeah, because regulate my chubby ass. It works.
Well, and I mean, think about how many people you crop dust if you go to the right place. So like, there's a little bit of entertainment there.
I'm
too.
going to walk in my neighborhood. No, I'm not going to the mall. Do we even have a mall?
I mean, I wouldn't
Is that
walk
a
there.
thing?
I wouldn't even walk at the one
Not
in
a
Murfreesboro.
Not a traditional mall, no.
I'm just
Stones
going to walk
River
my
Road.
neighborhood. Me and my dog.
We're a
Get
little
up.
over an hour.
Okay. Brennan's saying we got to wrap it up.
All right, kids. This was hilarious.
Thanks for coming on, Tim.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for having
coming
me.
You feel
I
like you got your
appreciate it.
point across with the flock cameras?
Yes, and actually, I will say that you have definitely given me some insight that I didn't have before, as far as the AI version of that.
Weigh it with a grain of salt.
I'm just-
I don't know how much of an expert I am.
I'm just kidding. I didn't
But
know.
I am worried about the future of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm terrified.
And I clearly had some aggression I needed to get off my
Yes,
chest
you did.
against the lazy.
I would love to measure
man,
your cortisol right now.
I gotta
It's
be
high.
honest, man. It's
You know
just
the number
it's
one
getting to
cause
me
of
more and
death?
more. It is a
Can
whoop.
you pull it up? And
Yeah.
tell
I'll
me-
guarantee you,
Look,
my stress level.
You know the number
Yeah.
one cause of death? There's nothing that comes close. It's cortisol
Oh, I
levels.
can give you 3 names that are the number one cause of death in my life right now because I see them Monday through Friday.
What are their names? Let's point them out.
Which sister is it? I'm just
Can I have
kidding.
some
I
initials?
love you guys.
All right, that's it. I guess we get it done, Carlos. I was having fun, and I was so tired. Now I'm wide awake. This shit wakes me up for some reason.
See what happens?
Yeah,
Always feel better after.
I think I do. This is a good therapy.
I
session.
love it. It is it's a bro sesh, but it was a good bro
Last
sesh.
time I left, we were walking out to the car. I was like, I feel like I just ran 20 miles in a good way. Like I feel like energized and
Yeah,
like
I
I
thought
can
we
sit
were
down
going to
and-
start hanging out after that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could. Carlos, I think Carlos likes to keep every like.
Really?
I wouldn't
different
bring you here
segments
if I
of
was
his life.
doing that. I know this man.
Listen,
He's going.
Carlos keeps it separate between me and him. We don't even get to hang out.
Yeah.
This is the only time I see Carlos.
You've been a little busy lately, pal. I don't want to hear nothing.
I'm supposed to.
Yeah, that was. Turn that charm down, ladies.
So now they're gonna wonder if there's a domestic relationship going on.
Okay, look. Here's the deal.
That's
If this,
podcast number 3.
Hey,
right?
if this
check the
doesn't make
flock cameras.
look, if this jump doesn't make sense, you can blame Carlos. He's making me cut out a whole section.
You're really good at editing, and so is your AI. And Brennan is a
Brennan's
genius.
going to do it. I'm not editing shit.
I ain't worried about it if the nephew's on it.
Hey, Lucy, if you're listening, Carlos wants us to remove that section. Okay, so don't let Brennan forget.
Can you sick Lucy on like the flock servers
Yes.
to
Yes.
wait? No,
Allegedly.
of course you can't. Any intrusions happen from someone else do not originate here.
I'm not that invested in it. I just like talking about it.
Uh-huh.
How did you get your vote in the other day?
Damn Skippy.
I was just sitting there talking about becoming more involved in voting, and I didn't vote.
And I
was busy.
texted him. I said, "Don't forget to vote today." He goes, "I don't know who the hell to vote for."
I didn't. I don't want to vote for somebody unless I know.
it's
How did,
crazy.
How did you identify who you voted for?
Well, because I'm involved in my community, I knew most of them.
Okay.
So-
is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out that you voted for?
Austin Maxwell, City Council. Thank you very
Why?
much.
Why is this person deserving?
Retired U.S. Army Colonel, served our country. I love everything that he stands behind. He's
Which is what?
looking well, we
Smaller
can't get into
government?
that smaller government.
Okay, that's all I wanted to
I'll
hear.
give you that one.
Okay.
I'll give you that one. And shout out to Ramel, County Commissioner.
Are you going to keep up with whether or
Congratulations,
not
sir.
these people follow through? Are you going to identify whether their actions align with their words?
This is actually both not their first rodeo. They've both been reelected to their positions.
Okay.
And they've stood by. I mean, there's been some hiccups and things, but
You have
such
to-
as politics.
You have to educate me.
I shall
offline.
educate you.
Okay.
I shall
I
introduce
need
you.
to get.
They're great
I need
people.
to get involved.
They say local politics are what you feel more than anything national, but
Listen,
it's so hard.
it starts
to get
where
out
you
and
live.
vote.
It
Yeah.
starts where you live.
I agree. I got too involved in the national crap, and I realized, what am I doing? I need to get involved locally.
Just talking points and nonsense. This is where we live. This is
agree.
where you raise your family.
I
Get
agree.
out and vote,
Are they
kids.
are they voting to take the flock cameras down?
I don't think either one of them is for the flock cameras in all honesty. But you know what? I'm going to shoot you both a text message right after this. We're going to find out.
Dang,
I
how
was
connected
actually
are you,
surprised.
dog?
Is it
No, I'm connected.
the mayor in Knoxville, Kane, the WWE guy? I think he stopped all deployment of any flock. Until,
39 cities have rejected the contract
Now, our
because they're not
mayor-
living up to what they had agreed
Our
to.
mayor, on the other hand, has been on several podcasts and
Who's our
local
mayor?
shows. Mayor McFarland.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that by all appearances, he seems to be pro.
McFarland.
But that's my interpretation. Do your own homework.
Well, thanks for educating the community, Carlos.
Hey,
Thank you for coming on and giving your opinion, Tim.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for
This
having
was
me.
fun.
It's always fun.
You going to come back?
Absolutely.
Okay. We need more recurring guests that have good things to talk
Thanks for
about.
being bald and making me look bigger with your
I'll
tininess.
come in disguise next time, and I'll report back how many flock cameras I've taken down.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay. Until next time. So long, friends.
Bye, friends.